Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. How is everybody? Did everybody that had a day off enjoy your day off?
Yeah.
If you didn't have a day off, I'm very sorry. Not trying to rub it in. I didn't have one either. I'm with you. I also not have the day off. How are you doing? So, but we're glad that you made it still. We were afraid people might take the entire night off. I don't see Bill here. Is somebody else counting tonight? Okay, Robert's counting. Okay, good. We'll have to wait and see, Mike. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay. We have to wait and see. You guys, we've had over 180 students the past couple of weeks, and I was like, I mean, that's amazing that we've had that many for 2 weeks in a row. That's not happened in a long time. And Mike and I had a friendly wager. Can you bet? You can bet. I guess you can. I mean, it was a wager. It was a gentleman's wager. I said, I doubt there'll be 180 tonight. And if there's more than 100, if there's 175 students or more, I have to buy him lunch at Waffle House. And if not, then he has to buy it for me. So Robert, play fair. Don't count anybody twice. But we'll see how that goes. Really glad to have everybody here. In just a minute, we're going to have what we call a 4-minute party. We'll all stand up for 4 minutes. Everybody's going to stand up. We'll meet one another. If you are a first-time guest and you want to, we're not going to embarrass anybody or call you out. But while we're all meeting and greeting, if you're a first-time guest, we'll have some of our students up here, and you can come up here and meet them and get what, Courtney?
A Baskin-Robbins gift card.
And all we ask that you do in return is do what? Fill out
a little form. Give us some information about you.
You'll fill out a visitor form. You'll get a gift card, and that will be that'll be great. And so, if you're a guest, we want to let you know that we are really, really glad that you're here. We'll do that in just a moment. Got a lot of things we're going to do tonight. We're going to give away some more prizes tonight and lots of information about a lot of upcoming things. If you're ready to go, say I'm ready. All right, if you got a cell phone, if you'll silence that for us, that would be great so that it's not going to be a distraction to anybody else. And then if you've got a drink in front of you that's not in a sealed up cup, if you could just make sure and hold on to that or throw it away during the 4-minute party so we don't have any spills, that would be fabulous. All right, we are going to do our 4-minute party right now. Our teen greeters, come on up here. Those of you that are going to pass out the gift cards. Anybody else that is a guest, I've already met a few of you. We're not going to call you out or embarrass you. We're just going to ask you if you want to come up and meet these folks and get a gift card while we all stand up. Adults, we'd like you to stand up and greet the people around you as well, please. All right? So let's do that now. We're going to put a timer on it, and let's all stand up and let's have a 4-minute party. Let's go.
Hi guys. Hello.
Man, this is kind of awkward. We're 3 weeks in to True North now, the 2025 season of True North, and I haven't greeted you at all in any way, shape, or form. And I feel so bad about that. And you know, the what I think is really crazy is that I haven't seen you since last year. I just wanted you to know you look, of course, marvelous tonight as always. What you want to say?
Now, that shot I just made was pretty beautiful. While it did not make contact with him, it did make a beautiful arc over his head. However, even more beautifuler than that arc is you.
All right, bye.
Hey Garrison! Hello Garrison! Hey Winterfest, we ready! What's up? Hi Garrison. Help! Napkin! Help! I need napkin! You! I need a napkin! Hold this! I will protect you. What is in there? We're saying hi to Garrison. Oh, hey Garrison. Hi, Garrison.
Hi.
All right. Nice. Hey, how many of you met somebody that you did not know? I met 2 people that I did not know. Great. I don't know, Mike. There's a chance, Mike. There's a good chance. As I look around, Mike, there is a chance. I may be.
I really like Waffle House too.
You need to count twice, Robert. It's got to be good. Okay. Hey, everybody, it's time to celebrate those that are older. It's time for our birthdays in the borough. Sorry, I sneaked into that kind of quick. If you've got a birthday that's coming up the 19th to the 25th, come on up. Come on up. What's up, Sebastian? You got a birthday? Okay, I wasn't sure if you were just going to the bathroom or what. I mean, it could be your bathroom. Oh, wait, more birthdays. More birthdays. Ricky's got a birthday. All right, very good. Hidalgo's got a birthday. All right, very. How old? 18. 17. 14. 13. 16. All right, very good. We're going to sing happy birthday to these folks the way we do it in the NBYG. Is with 3 simple words, and those words are and it goes like this. Make it feel special.
Well, you're 1 year older than you used to be, and you're still cool.
Nice and loud.
You've still got it, it's plain to see.
Come on.
You're still cool. Yeah, it's your birthday today. That's why we're here to say that you're still cool.
Everybody say happy birthday. Congratulations, everybody. Enjoy. We gave them a Abraham Lincoln sticker that says you're still cool. And there we go. Those are our birthdays. No blast from the past this week. Parents, if you're a parent in the room and you are a grandparent and you know somebody and you got a birthday picture, we are completely out of birthday pictures. We need birthday pictures. So you got to text those to us because we're all out. We don't have any more. But it only saves us time, except that I just wasted time talking about it. So we'll move on. Hey, today's Wednesday. That means tomorrow is Thursday. Which means
Panera!
All right. Tell us all about it, Courtney.
All right. Any NBYG girls, or if you got a friend you want to bring, 7th to 12th grade, we meet at Panera next to Sprouts on Memorial, not for boys. And we meet there and have a fun time just talking about the Word and eating some yummy food and catching up on each other's lives. So if this was your first week, please come join us at Panera. We would love to see you there.
All right, very good. Some upcoming things. I think it's now safely time that we can talk about one of our gatherings that doesn't have eternal consequences maybe, but it's a fun time to be together, a great time to bring your friends. That's going to be on February the 9th. February the 9th. We're going to have our Super Bowl party. Oh, wait, I'm not allowed to show the NFL logo. There we go. I can't do that. Copyright. I can't do that. I can't show the other logo. And we can call it Super Bowl party now, apparently. We no longer have to call it the big game party. But that's going to be on February the 9th, 5 p.m. Winterfest chaperones, we have a meeting in that room right before that this party. But everybody else, join us here. After the first quarter, we'll have the gym open. Lots of prizes, lots of NBYG bucks, lots of gift cards, lots of fun. Come and join us, whether you want to enjoy the game or not. It's going to be fabulous. There we go. Okay. Hey, so far, we've got over 230 people signed up to go with us to Winterfest. Huge crowd. Huge crowd. Way back before 2020, I think the most we've ever taken from North Boulevard was like 256 or 257. I went back and looked because I thought, man, 230 is a big crowd. Are we at right over 230? I think we're close to 230, 231, something like that. It's very close. A lot of you are going, how many of you already signed up? Raise your hands. If you are not signed up but want to go, there is a waiting list. There's a good chance that there may be a spot open up. No guarantees at this point. We are tight on space, but we are excited, and we'll be giving you more information about Winterfest. It's coming up the 14th, 15th, and 16th, Valentine's Day weekend. So there you go. All right. Any Winterfest comment you need to make?
No, it's a great way to celebrate Valentine's
Yeah, great way
Day
to.
with
yeah.
all the people you love.
Imagine all the honeymooners in Gatlinburg. They're going to be so shocked
They're going to be so happy.
when they get to celebrate with 7,000 of their adolescent friends. It's going to be so great. Hey, something else that is coming up, a date that we want you to make sure that you mark down on your calendar is this coming Sunday, the 26th of January. We will be having an information meeting for our trip to Ensenada this summer. That trip will be July the 5th through the 11th, and that's an important meeting. Those of you that will have completed the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you are eligible. Doesn't mean you're going just because you finished those grades, but you have to meet certain requirements. But come and find out everything you want to there at that meeting. With that in mind, we're going to keep moving. We got several things to do tonight, and we're going to take that announcement and move on into our pictures of the week. There we go. You sorry about that? It's been a while. Okay, as some of you know, I just returned from Ensenada and for a leaders meeting of all the leaders that will be taking groups, and there were several really cool moments. As many of you know, the kids are not at the home right now, and our hope and our prayer is that they will be there, that the doors will be open, hopefully sometime in late March, early April, or sometime through the month of April. And there's a more complex answer to that, but that's what our prayer is. And so the plan is that the groups are still going to be going down. We went and worshiped with them on Sunday. This first picture is of worship, and we had a very large crowd because about 30, 40, maybe close to 50 former students and former children who've grown up at the home are coming every week for worship, which is unprecedented and has been a tremendous blessing. And so those of you that have been before, we can't really zoom in there. We do have permission to show their pictures because they are not children there at the home. They've grown up at the home. It was a great blessing to be there with a lot of them and eat meals with a lot of them and see some folks that I've not seen in 2, 3, 4, and in some cases 15 or 16 years. I realize that doesn't mean anything to those of you that have never been down there, but this is the children's home that we work with in Ensenada, and a really large crowd of former students came back to have lunch and actually came back and visited multiple times as well. Some of those students helped to cook and prepare lunch. And so these are some folks that some of you may recognize, and I'll direct your attention to a couple of folks. This right here is, his name is Charlie Fernandez, and this is Horacio Cota. Horacio works as a campus minister there at the home now. He also grew up at the home. Charlie, who serves as the director of the leadership team there at the home, also grew up at the home. And fun fact, he was the child that we sponsored in Knoxville, when I served my first 5 years in youth ministry at a church in Knoxville. Charlie was a young child. They were sponsoring him before I got there and sponsored him until he aged out while I was there. But that was the child we sponsored. That was like a line for us. Never ever would I have imagined that that child that we sponsored then would grow up to be in the position that he's in now. And really cool to see him leading and mentoring a lot of these students. If you want to zoom in a little bit, we had some great carne asada, and it was a very great lunch. But we had a really productive time meeting with all of the leaders. Some of you in the back of the room say, hey, I'm never going to be able to go, or I don't have kids that are going, but I'd love to help out. This is a picture of one of the food sets that we deliver in the community. And we deliver about 30 to 40, sometimes more than that of these. We'll give a family one or two, and then we'll give them one or two to share. So they'll get some, and then they'll get some to share with a neighbor to invite them to church. These work out to be about $30 a piece, maybe a little bit more. But if you said, hey, you know what, I'd love to help out with that, we'll put that in a fund that'll be just set aside to providing some food sets. But I saw that sitting out and thought I'll take a picture of that. So pictures of the week aren't always going to be hilarious, but these are important. So when I saw some of these images, I thought these are images that need to be shared, and those are, I think those are the pictures of the week. This is the leadership team that is there at the home, and 1, 2, 3 of the people in that picture grew up at the City of Children from the time they were a young child until they graduated. Some of them, their spouses are in those photos, and it's really, really cool to see them serving in a variety of roles. So some of you will get a chance to meet them, and that meeting is going to happen on Sunday, this Sunday afternoon. If you got it, say got it. Make sure you be there because first priority is given to those that attend that meeting, and I do anticipate having to limit that team, certainly with the number of adults that we take. We have some large classes coming through, and we're going to have to make sure that our team stays at the size that they want it to be at. So come and join us, and we'll give you more information there. I think now those were the last pictures of the week. There we go. All right, very good. Hey, let's move on. There's something that I wanted to remind some of you of the last 2 different weeks, and I forgot. And one of them, where's Isaac? Isaac Medling, stand up. Isaac, where are you? Isaac is in the room. Stand up. Isaac back there, as I think you saw Sunday, I was gone, so I didn't see it announced to the whole church, but I meant to announce it the Sunday after it happened, and then the next Wednesday, and I forgot. Isaac was recently baptized, and we're so excited. We're so excited. Now stay standing, stay standing. No, Isaac, stay standing. We're not done yet. Isaac, stand back up. We're also, and I don't know if I didn't get permission to call anybody else out, but about this, I don't really mind. I want to congratulate. I think I see him back there. Jackson, you back there? Jackson Pierce, he also baptized recently. Congratulations, Jackson. We're proud of Jackson and Isaac. Now, Isaac, I've kept forgetting to announce this about you, and I kept forgetting and apologizing. So I put something in the presentation tonight so that I wouldn't forget. And we haven't done this in a while, but Courtney pointed it out on the agenda, and she was like, oh, yeah. So, Isaac, come on up here, everybody. It is time. It is time for us. It's time for us to get stumped. Here we go. Come on up, Isaac. All right, now here's how this works. You're going to stand right here. We're going to get somebody from the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. Now, if you will get somebody from the 7th, 8th, and 9th, boy, or girl, boy, girl, I'll get somebody from 10th, 11th, and 12th, okay? So I need a 10th grader that is willing to help out. Brady, come on up, Brady. Brady's coming up. All right, I need an 11th grade girl. Is there an 11th grade girl? Okay, come on up. 8th grade. All right, and then is there a 12th grade guy? I need a 12th grade guy. 12th grade guy, you ready? All right, come on up.
All right. Now I need a 9th grade boy.
This should be fun. Who, have you dressed up as somebody recently at school?
9th grade boy?
No.
I'm retired.
You're retired? I don't believe that for a minute, but okay. All right, here's how this works. We have her, wait.
Did I get a 9th grade boy? I need a 9th grade boy.
It didn't matter. Get whoever.
Do we
have 7th grade? Where's 7th?
We have 7th and 8th. We need 9th.
Okay, all right, very good. We need a 9th grade.
Caroline.
Who wants to do it? All right, here we go. All right, now, the reason we get Isaac in this is because the first 2 he got before everybody else. We're just going to see if he can keep a streak going. I think somebody else won the last one before him. You're going to turn around, you're going to face that screen. I'm going to show you a visual puzzle. You're going to say, got it? When you say got it, I'm going to come to you. You're going to explain the answer and why. Don't just guess. You need to have a reason. If your answer is wrong, you are going to then not be allowed to answer again until somebody else has it right. The winner of this is going to receive their choice of a $15 Taco Bell gift card or a $10 Starbucks gift card. Sorry, they're not equal in value. Both of them guaranteed to make you visit the lavatory very soon after.
There is a Starbucks at Winterfest.
Do what?
There is a Starbucks at Winterfest.
Oh, there is a Starbucks at Winterfest. No Taco Bell in Gatlinburg. How does that happen?
I don't even know.
That's terrible. All right, we're going to show you this. Nobody else, if you want to play at home, you can play on your own. Just don't shout it out. Everybody ready? Is everybody ready? When you know it, raise your hand, and I'll show you the answer after we figure it out. Here we go. If you're stumped, here it is. There it is. What is the answer to this solution? You're going to figure it out. I see a hand. Isaac has put his hand up first. What do you think the answer is, Isaac, and why? I'm going to come over here since I don't have a mic for you.
4.
And you say it is 4. Why do you say 4?
The other 2, it's number, like the lines cross a number, like, how do I explain this? There's a number, 4 is the number of, like, T's, I guess.
Okay, all right. You know what? I totally understand what he's saying. You got it right. That's right. The answer is 4 because there are 9 intersections in that one, 1 in that one, and 4 in that one. Isaac, once again, everybody else is stumped. Isaac wins. Let's give him a big hand. Everybody, congratulations. Isaac, which one you want? Huh? Oh, Isaac wants the Starbucks. I did not see that coming. All right, very good. Good job, everybody. You were close. There were some other people that were close. Very good. We'll see next time how you do at getting stumped. All right, so now we're going to give away the $15 Starbucks gift card. I'm sorry. That's right. You're totally right. Yeah, thank you. I should just let y'all take over tonight. That is the Taco Bell gift card. I should know that. All right, how are we going to give that away, Courtney?
Oh.
What do you think? I know. Let's try this. All right, come on up. Let's grab those mics.
I've got the power.
That's a very nice jacket you got there. Nice jacket.
I've got the power.
Did you say you me too? Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, we're going to do this. Now, the way we got to do this, we got to figure out somebody that's going to come up here. We don't draw this out. But here's what we're going to do, okay? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask that you now give me a number between 1 and 5.
Okay.
Okay, give me that number. You can tell me.
5.
Okay, 5. All right, now at 5, I want you to tell me, are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
You're right-handed, okay? All right. Now I want you to give me another number between 1 and 20.
1.
1. All right, so we're going to go 5 rows back. 5 rows back. He said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He said he was right-handed. We're going to go on this side, and then we're going to go, you gave us the number 1. All right, so we're going to start right here. If you do not want to play, you can pass to the next person. You want to pass. All right, let's see. Xander. Brady. All right, Brady. I'm 50-50. I got Brady, come on up. You want to play? Yeah, come on up. All right, everybody, give a big hand for Brady. Here we go. All right, let me see it.
It's yours.
You got it.
Okay, very good. Do you know how this game works? All right, you kind of know.
Yeah.
You're going to guess the charge when he tells you to.
Okay.
You guess higher or lower, and you'll have 10 seconds to guess the charge, or it won't be the charge. Okay, you ready? You ready to guess the charge?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Joshua, whenever you are ready, give him the instructions.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Guess the charge.
50,
Lower.
25,
Higher.
30,
Higher.
45,
Higher.
47.
Lower. Oh, that's the charge.
He got it right! He got it right! Nice job. Congratulations. All right, here you go. There's your Taco Bell.
All right.
Wow, that worked out really well.
Got the power.
47. All right, 47.
I've got the power.
Would anybody else like to win some nbyg bucks? All right, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you a chance to do that. We're going to finish off the game that we started last week. We're on time. We got like 5 minutes left. This is great. This is great news. So here we go. You're going to stand up. We're going to play True or False 2024. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. All right. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. Listen very carefully. The instructions confused some of you last time. We are going to allow you 1 miss. So on your second miss, you have to sit down. So you're going to give a thumbs up if it's true, thumbs down if it's false. You're going to show your neighbors on both sides of you so that they know you're not changing your answer. On your second miss, you must sit down. Once you've missed once, you'll just hold up a 1 to let everybody know that you already missed 1 time. Everybody understand? All right, we got a few minutes to play. Here is how we do it. You get 1 miss, and on your second miss, you have to sit down. Hopefully, nobody misunderstands that. This is for 20 nbyg bucks. We went from 10 to 15 to 20. So here we go. All right, first question. You're going to read these claims. Did they happen last year in 2024? Here we go. Frustrated by both major candidates in the presidential election, a Texan man changed his name to none of the above. Is that true or false? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Show us. Show us. Show your neighbor. Lock it in. 3, 2, 1, and lock it in. Here's the answer. That answer is false. That is false. He changed his name to literally anybody else. All right, there we go. It was false. Courtney, take the second one. If you already missed one, raise your hand. All right, you got one more miss. Here we go, Courtney, take it away.
For the first time ever, scientists found a cave on the moon big enough for people to go into. True or false?
True or false? Show us. True or false? True or false? All right, lock it in. 3, 2, 1, and that's true. That one is true.
Ooh.
If you're out, have a seat. Oh, you're out? You missed 2 in a row. All right, here we go. Here's your next one. Next one. A national chili cook-off exploded with controversy.
Oh, I thought.
I'm sorry. I'm 53, but that still is going to make me laugh every time. A national chili cook-off exploded with controversy when a player was accused of cheating. True or false? True or false? Let's see it. 3, 2, 1. Show your neighbor. If you've already missed once, this is your second one here. Get ready. That one right there is false. It is false. Okay, here we go. Some of you are still in. We're still playing. Take it away, Courtney. Here's your next one. Go.
NASA sent a song by the K-pop group BTS into deep space as a way to see if any aliens might respond. True or false?
All right, 3, 2, 1. True or false? Let's see it. Let's see it. Show us. All right, we got answers. Show your neighbor. Show your neighbor. If this is your second miss now on the honor system, sit down. That one right there is false. It was a song by Missy Elliott to test communication between Earth and Venus. Wow, I don't understand. All right, 2 people are still in over here and several of you over here. This side's smarter tonight. All right, here we go. Actually, just guess better. Here's your next one. The Pennsylvania town of Newtown attempted a world record for the largest Macarena dance. True or false? In 2024, true or false? Go. 3, 2, 1. Show us. Lock it in. Show your neighbor. That one right there that is true. That is true. All right, you're still in. Still in over here? Oh, wow. All right, here we go. Courtney.
An entire class of college graduates each received a total of $100 from one of their graduation ceremony speakers. True or false?
Wow. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Lock it in. Show us your answer. True or false? Show your neighbor. Everybody look to make sure they're playing fair. Here we go. Lock it in. That one is false. That was false. It was actually $1,000. $1,000. Wow. All right, so everybody's out over here. You all are still in. We have a handful of people. Here we go. Social media star Nick DiGiovanni. Did I get that right? Yes. Teamed up with Duncan to break the Guinness World Record for the largest iced latte. True or false? True or false? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Lock it in. All right, here we go. Lock it in. That one right there that's true. That's true. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. 6 are left, Courtney. Here we go. Take the next one. Let's go.
McDonald's debuted a Grandma McFlurry flavor inspired by hard candy grandmas carry in their purses. True or false?
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Lock it in. Let's see it. Okay, we got it here. Okay, looks like everybody's got a thumbs up there. That one that's true. That one is true. All right, let's see if we can eliminate somebody. Otherwise, we're going to have to rock, paper, scissors our way. The first ever Florida Man Games were held in St. Augustine in 2024. The first ever Florida Man Games. That says Florida Man Games. I think it's Florida Man Games, but I don't know. True or false? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's see it. Somebody's going to sit down here. Somebody's going to sit down. That one right there is true. That is true. All right, we have 2 left. Oh, you're out.
Oh,
You're the winner.
McCall.
All right, go back to find Biggie Laws. Your 20 nbyg bucks are waiting back there. There we go. There we go. That's it. I don't know if there's another one or not. There may be. How many more are there left? Yeah, there's 2 more. A Nebraska woman was arrested after months of hacking a gas pump and stealing more than $27,000 in fuel from the gas station. Is that true or false? That one is true. That one is true. She's in jail, so don't do that anymore. And here's your last one. More than 200 waiters and waitresses competed in a race through Paris where they carried food and drinks on a serving tray for more than a mile. Is that true or false? That one is also true. All right, very good. Oh, there is one more. Okay, we got one more. A mom who didn't know she was pregnant gave birth at a Golden Corral, all-you-can-eat buffet. On the tray? Why did they put that baby on a tray? Can we have not had a better picture than that? All right, true or false? That one is true. That one actually is true. All right, very good. There we go. Not sure how that happens, but that was true or false 2024. You did a good job. Congratulations. All right. Any of those facts? You struggling with any of those?
No,
You're good?
I'm good.
You're good with all those?
What about you?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why we're needing Missy Elliott songs to communicate with Venus.
Yeah, that one's a little confusing.
All right, guys. We are going to kind of refocus here. We're glad to have a great crowd tonight. Glad you're here. Glad you made it here. Let's keep in mind, somebody in the room is no doubt here because somebody else is in the room. Maybe you came because somebody brought you, or you were their only ride, or you're staying with them, or they made you, or whatever. That's the reason some of you are here because you want to be here to see other people. Some of you are here to get away from something else that may be going on back home or with somebody else, and this is a good, safe place to kind of get away. Others of you are here because you're just so excited and you want the overflow of your excitement to spill over on other people. Others of you are here because you are low and you need to be filled. And instead of sitting at home and kind of pouting about, why the world is miserable, you made a decision to show up here. And I could go on. There's probably 10 other reasons why some of you are here. Some of you are here for a reason that you don't want anybody to know about. But there's likely, even if the front row were the only people here, there's likely somebody who is here to say, I'm giving God one more chance or one more shot to speak into something in my life that is broken. And I've tried everything else. Nothing else has worked. And if that happens to be you, you know who you are. Don't feel like you're the only one, because you probably are not. You're probably not the only one on your row or even in your section or your grade. And we hope that tonight we hope that all of it has been healing. We hope that tonight from this moment forward that you find a place where you feel able to be at peace and to be yourself, to improve, to grow. And we're going to begin to worship here in just a moment. This year we are going through this book, Core 52, 52 Truths. And we're pretty excited about it. And the feedback that we're getting from some of you has been very positive. Those of you that are kind of locking in and saying, I'm going to be a part of this and I'm going to jump in. It's been really encouraging to hear what many of you have said. All the books were sold out. We ordered more, and all we have left are these that are up here on that table. Several of those were sold out. These two here are already claimed, and so it looks like we have 6 more books. 6 more books. If you want one after that, you can easily get them on Amazon for not much more than we're charging you here, but we may not place another order unless we just have, something unusual happens. But we want you to be a part of it. And tonight we have the bookmarks that we promised you that have the weeks and the questions. The questions are the titles of the chapters in the green book. That's the one thing that I do like about the green book, but I love the meat that's contained in the blue version of the book. But if you want to pick up one of these, they're up here. There's some in a basket right here. And I believe Lila Beth and Sarah Maples will have those in the back. They'll be passing those out. If you want one, we'll have them for the next several weeks. Take one. You can maybe take 1 or 2 if you need one, but we've only got a limited amount. This is all we got. So adults, if you want one, take one. We did order, I think, like 500, so we have enough for you to take one. Put one either in your Bible or put one in your book. This book is not the Bible. It's not meant to replace the Bible, but it is meant to guide you through it. And so I love these questions. Our first 3 questions. Courtney, you mind reading those the first 3 weeks? We should be on week 3. What are the first 3 questions?
The first question is, why am I here? The second is, who am I? And the third is, what is my problem?
Yeah. Why am I here? Who am I? And what is my problem? Man, those are 3 really, really, really big questions that some of your friends are asking, even if they've never stepped foot in a church or never opened a Bible. They're going to be asking themselves, why am I here? Who am I? And what is my problem? And so we're in week 3. If you ever fall behind or don't read, don't feel like you got to catch up necessarily. Just pick up where you are. But these readings are very, very easy. Some of you are taking notes, and we'll say more about that. We're going to try to tie in what we're doing with this into our regular teaching, but not always. We're not following this every week. So there you go. All right, you can grab your bookmark, and you can do that. In just a moment, we're going to all stand up together and worship together. Know that Miss Sharon Thornhill has the prayer request that you filled out at the beginning of the month, and she's, I believe, is here tonight. She said she was going to be, is praying through those here. And the nights that she can't be here, she takes them home and makes and prays for them at home. But she's praying for those things that you all wrote down, and she's fervently praying for them. And so whatever you wrote down, know that it's being lifted up at least 4 Wednesdays after you write it down. So let's do this. Singers, if you guys want to go ahead and come and take your place. And as we worship together tonight, some of you may say, I'm just not in a place where I really want to sing. That's okay. I'd invite you just to sit and listen if you want. You don't have to stand up. We just stand up to kind of honor, be in the presence of God, but we don't want to make you stand up. If you want to kneel, you can do that. If you want to get with somebody in the room and pray, you can do that. In fact, we often have some students, some of our upperclassmen that are eager to pray with and for their classmates. So whether or not you're technically on our prayer team, we don't have an official list. But if you're an 11th or 12th grader and you're willing to do that, just stand up and just move around to the back of the room. We've got a couple of students that are willing to do that. It'd be great to have any guys, any girls that want to do that as well, to just join back there. And anybody in the room that wants to be prayed with or for, just go and find one of these people and they'll be glad to pray with you. It's really a cool experience to have somebody pray specifically about the thing that is burdening you. So there we go. We'll do that. All right? We'll go ahead and turn the lights out, guys, and get ready. And for the next few moments, let's just clear everything else out of your mind and listen and focus on the lyrics. If you were here last week, we talked about Niagara Falls. That the sound of Niagara Falls just is so loud that when you're behind it, you pay the extra money to go in the cave behind it, you can't barely hear yourself think, let alone talk. Worship is supposed to do that. It is supposed to just remind you of the ever-present outpouring of grace that God is pouring onto your heart so that everything else gets drowned out. So some of you just really need the world to be quiet. Some of you just right now really need the world to be quiet because your world is loud, it's crazy, and it's yelling things at you, about you, or to you. And worship is meant to still those things and turn up the presence of God. So let's all stand together and let's sing a few songs together. Father God, for today, help me walk your narrow way. Help me stand when I might fall. Give me your strength to hear your call. May my steps be worship. May my thoughts be praise. May my words bring honor to your name. May my steps be worship. May my thoughts be praise. May my words bring honor to your name. Ladies.
Father God, just for today, help me walk your narrow way. Help me stand when I might fall. Deep within
Y'all know this? Probably should. It's been a long time since we've seen it together. Holy Lord, most holy Lord, you alone are worthy of my praise. O holy Lord, most holy Lord, with all of my heart I sing. In my heart I sing, great are you, Lord, worthy of praise, holy and true. Great are you, Lord, most holy Lord. Holy Lord, most holy Lord, you alone are worthy of my praise. O holy Lord, most holy Lord, with all of my heart I sing. In my heart I sing, great are you, Lord, worthy of praise, holy and true. Great are you, Lord, most holy Lord. 142. 142. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. In the presence of my enemy. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. Louder than the unbelief. Louder than the unbelief. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. My weapon is a melody. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. Heaven comes to fight for me. Heaven comes to fight for me. And I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. With everything inside of me. With everything inside of me. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. I will watch the darkness flee. I will watch the darkness flee. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. In the middle of the mystery. I raise a hallelujah. I raise a hallelujah. Fear you lost your hold on me. Fear you lost your hold on me. And I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. So sing a little louder. 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 So sing a little louder. Sing a little louder. So sing a little louder. In the presence of my enemy. I'll sing a little louder. Louder than the unbelief. I'll sing a little louder. My weapon is a melody. I'll sing a little louder. Heaven comes to fight for me. And I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm. Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar. Up from the ashes, hope will arise. Death is defeated, the King is alive. I raise a hallelujah. 124. Do one more song. 124. I'll ring the All right, really good crowd. Apparently, I received a text during worship. Apparently, I'm going to owe Mike Waffle House. So, Mike will have a Waffle House later on. So, nice job. Yeah, you guys are over 180 again here tonight. Really good. The goal is never a number. The goal is not a number. The number counts because it means that souls are here and people are here. Now, there's about 300 names on the roster of the NBYG, about 300, just a little over 300 names. So 181 is an awesome number, but it represents about another 120 people that are somewhere. And it may be that they have a legitimate reason to be somewhere. They may be at work. They may be visiting another church. They may be with another group studying the Bible somewhere. They may be watching online. They may be sick. There's lots of legitimate reasons. And again, the goal is not church attendance. That's not the goal. But when I see 180, I'm like, man, that's incredible. It's been a long time since we've had that many regularly kind of coming together to open God's Word on a Wednesday night. But 120 obviously are somewhere else. And of that 120, a good number of them have a legitimate reason. But there's somebody that is not here for a reason that should not be okay with us. Lots of different reasons. It could be something that they've done. It could be something that somebody's done to them. It could be something that they just aren't feeling love from other people in the group, or they feel like they don't belong. If it's because they're shy and this size of group overwhelms them, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not holding that against anybody. But somebody of that 120, at least somebody is not here because maybe somebody in here has done something to make them feel like, I don't want to be in the same room with them. And we want to try to fix that. It's the whole reason that we're diving into the Sermon on the Mount. Now, the past several weeks, I've sent out some reminders that, hey, we're going to be getting into maybe some topics that require some mature language. And that always makes people go, ooh, I want to show up for that. I want to see what's going to go on with that. And I've kind of attributed that maybe that's why we had more people here. And I'm not going to do that when it's not necessary just to get people to show up. But I want to be fair to parents, and I want to be fair to teens, and I want to be fair to you if you're bringing a friend to say, people all the time will text and go, what are you talking about tonight? Because I want to know before I bring my friend. I can't guarantee that I'm ever going to compromise the gospel, or that I'm going to maybe not share something because somebody is here. But we certainly want to share things in a way that people respond to and are open to. And there's some teachings that we're about to get into as we dive into our series, continue our series, that's gone now the entire school year. I don't know that it's going to take us. My guess is it's not going to take us all the way through the school year, which you're glad to hear. But it doesn't matter. It's the Bible. And if I said we're going to study the Bible all year long, then, it doesn't matter what chapter, what verse, what book we're coming from. We're looking at truths. And it just so happens that 5, 6, and 7 are so different that every week it's not like we're studying just the story of one person in the Bible for 12 weeks. But we're looking at this section in the Gospel of Matthew, the Sermon on the Mount, 5, 6, 7. It's this section of teachings that Jesus gave, probably not a one-time sermon. It probably wasn't a sermon he stood up and gave and they recorded it and said, if they had Mike and his team, we'll put this Sermon on the Mount online and we'll call it the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus didn't call it the Sermon on the Mount. It says that from that time on, Jesus began to teach them about the kingdom of God. Somewhere along the line, we've decided to call it the Sermon on the Mount because it likely took place, or some of those teachings took place on this particular mountainside. Some of you in the room have probably been here. I know some people at North Boulevard that have been here. Some people in my family have been here. And many of you know some people that have stood here and recited from those 3 chapters, 107 verses, those 2,000 words that take you 12 minutes to read. I keep showing that slide because I want every new person, every guest, every person who's watching online or finds this years later online to know that this teaching is so simple and so concise that anybody could read it. You could listen to it likely on your way home. It takes me about 11 to 12 minutes to drive home. I could listen to the Sermon on the Mount. You could listen to it. I told you that Gandhi read the Sermon on the Mount at the beginning and the end of every day for the last 40 years of his life. Several sources have backed that up, that Gandhi was so touched by the teachings of Jesus that he listened and read the Sermon on the Mount to begin and end every day. 24 minutes a day that he would spend at the beginning and the end. It's that important. And we've been jumping into it. And you're finding several of you said things like, man, I didn't realize that as a 9th grader or as a 12th grader or even as a middle schooler that this is full of stuff. And tonight we're going to get into some sections that are going to require, again, us to have our mature ears on. Now, we're going to have some fun tonight. Every Wednesday night, I like for us to be able to laugh some. I like for us to be able, that's why we do things on the front end to loosen everybody up. That's why we occasionally play some games or we show a funny video. We do some things to just kind of like, hey, it's good to be here. Let's all laugh. And that opens the heart for us to be able to pour some things in. And so tonight, I hope you're ready. And I just pray that you don't distract the person beside you. You may have something you have to tell them, and if you do, I can't stop that. But don't be the reason that somebody is distracted, because there are some things in here that I think all of us need to hear. And we started off with this particular passage last week, starting with the antitheses. We call them the antitheses because in 6 different subjects, 6 different places, Jesus is going to say, you have heard that it was said, but I tell you. Now, he's not saying, you heard somebody say this, scratch that, got a new plan. That's not what he's saying. Most of the time he's quoting, where's he quoting from? Most of the time, he's quoting from the Old Testament, and he's saying, that's important, but you all have missed the point. Now, I've already tipped my hand as to the next slide. I didn't mean to go ahead so early, but I shared with you last week, and last week, we had a fun way of illustrating. I gave some various topics or categories if I was going to enter a trivia competition, right? You guys remember that? And I told you some of those categories, and some of you stood up and said, all right, Skid, if you were going to go on to a trivia night competition, and you had been given the categories, like, you want me on your team if this category comes up. And some of you know. So here's what I'd like to do now. I'd like for some of you to tell me a category that you would say, I can, and we did this last week as well, I'm just remembering, but I'd like for 2 or 3 of you, what's a category that you could say, you could count on me when it came to this particular category? Give me somebody right here, tell me one. A category that you feel comfortable. Yes, Madeline?
Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, Pride and Prejudice. Very good. You'd say, any questions about Pride and Prejudice? I'm the person you want. Yes, Mac? Metallica. Okay, Metallica. Okay, very good. All right, so if I get stuck on a Metallica question on who wants to be a millionaire, I'd like to phone a friend. I'm going to call my friend, my friend Mac. All right, very good. Somebody else, one more, right over here. Who's got one? Yes, Caius. The Legend of Zelda. Okay, all right, very good, very good. So I was sharing at Winterfest in Arlington. Some of you know I just got back from Winterfest in Arlington, Texas. They had about 2,500 students that met there in Arlington. It's a bit smaller Winterfest, but still a huge crowd. And I shared some of this, and of course you're going to hear probably some of this again. I don't apologize, it's God's Word, so take it up with Him if it bores you. But my presentation of it may not always be that exciting, I'll give you that. But you're going to hear some of this again, and some of it's because I want to make sure that it resonates with you. So you guys get to be, not just, you're not the dress rehearsal, you're not the test run, but you're the group that helps me say, yes, this connects. But I was sharing at Winterfest in Arlington, and I shared some of those categories. Categories like Fortnite and Pokemon, and I mentioned Marvel movies, and I mentioned instead of the Tennessee Titans, I mentioned the Dallas Cowboys, and they were all, several kids were excited that I mentioned the Dallas, and I was like, I said I'm from Tennessee, and I said because they were like the Cowboys aren't very good this year. I said the Titans and the Cowboys should just get together and play their own Super Bowl, and that might actually be an exciting game. If we had the Titans play the Cowboys, that might actually be exciting. But I shouted out several of those categories, and kids got excited. And then I said this one that I didn't use the other night. Let me try this one here. The lyrics to Hamilton. The lyrics to Hamilton. All right. And now the reaction, of course, this was like the 8th or 9th one I shared there. There were several students, guys and girls, but there were several, and I told people to stand up. I said, if you're my person on my team, stand up. And so they would stand up. When I would give certain categories, they would stand up. And then they would sit down. And I would say the next category. I would say the Gilmore Girls, and several people would stand up. Oh, that's going to be me. And then I would say Star Wars. They would all stand up. And when I said the lyrics to Hamilton, there were in 2,500 people, there were about 100 people that stood up. But one girl almost jumped up to where she could touch the top of the room. She jumped up and she was like, me! And she jumped up, and I thought she was going to break out into Hamilton right there. And I just said, wow, you're really excited about this. She said, yes, I know everyone. And I'm like, okay, great. That's awesome. That's great. You would be the person that I would pick. Are you sure you wouldn't let me down? She's like, no, I wouldn't miss a one. She was so excited. She's like, this is my chance. I know nothing about anything else, but this is it. And I said, that would be great. I said, what if Lin-Manuel Miranda were here in the room? Would I pick you over him? To which she said, yes. And I said, wrong answer. Because you may know it, but he wrote it. Like he created it. Like he thought it up. He is the authority. Now, he's a human, so he may forget some of the lyrics to his own thing. But if I had a choice between this 9th grade girl and Lin-Manuel Miranda, who would I pick? I'm going to go with Miranda because he wrote it. He's the authority. Now, some of you already saw the next slide. It was something I've waited on for about 2 years since I've gotten into, I'm not afraid to admit it. It may be because of my age. I don't know. I love trivia. And I watch Jeopardy just about every day. I watch Jeopardy. And sometimes it's late at night. Sometimes I miss a week and I have to catch up because I've got them all recorded. I'm probably over-disclosing, but I'll move on. And I watch it because I like to learn things. And I've waited for this forever. I've joked and I've said, people are like, man, you should try out. You should go in Jeopardy. I said, no. And I would embarrass myself on national television. There would be a Bible category and I would blank out and I would forget several of them, in front of everybody. I said, I really don't know that I have the confidence to go on the show. And I said, there's only one category that I feel like I could really be confident in. And sure enough, last week it came up as a final Jeopardy category, and that was the Muppets. And I'm in my house, and I think only one of my girls was there. My wife was somewhere in the house, and I said, finally! And everybody was like, what? They came running down the stairs to see what was wrong. And they were like, what? And I said, finally, there's a Muppets category. And my family was like, that's what you call us down there for? I said, I didn't call anybody down here. I just celebrated. Now, here's the deal. This was Celebrity Jeopardy, so, okay, I get it. But the celebrity that we were competing against, I say we because I'm part of the game at this point. We were up against Neil deGrasse Tyson, the world-renowned astrophysicist, one of the smartest minds in America probably, and we're competing against Neil deGrasse Tyson. And here's the question. Now, don't shout out the answer. I'm just curious, I'm really curious how many in this room would be able to get this question right. Some of you in the back, I know a few of you are going to get it right. Although I've asked 10 individuals, just 10 friends, and surprisingly, only 2 of 10 have gotten this answer correct. It's not a difficult question. It's a very easy question. Here's the final Jeopardy answer. 3 crates are shipped abroad in 1981's The Great Muppet Caper. Frog holds Kermit, Bear holds Fozzie, and whatever holds this Muppet. Don't shout it out. Raise your hand if you know the answer. Raise your hand if you know the answer. I'm really curious. Raise your hand. I see 1 teen, 2 adults back there, 4 adults, 5 adults. That was very clever. Thank you. I see a couple of teens. Okay. Now, if you're confident enough, you're going to shout out the answer. Okay. You don't have to phrase it in the form of a question. All right. I'll start it off with who is. You're going to shout it out. I just want to see, but shout it out loud and let's see if you got it right. Ready? All right. Here's the answer. 1, 2, 3. Who is? Gonzo. Okay. The answer is Gonzo. Who did not get it right? That thought they had it right. Most people said animal. That was the other one. I happen to also. I'm not afraid to disclose this to you. I have an autographed picture of Animal in my office that I wrote to the Muppet Show when I was in the 4th grade, and Animal sent me back an autographed picture. I don't know who did, but somebody did. And I also have an autographed picture of the puppeteer behind the Great Gonzo, and I also have an autograph of Frank Oz. I consider myself, I know a lot about the Muppets. Neil deGrasse Tyson, however, guessed who is Snuffleupagus. First of all, that's not how you smell Snuffleupagus. And he was like, well, he's a whatever too. He was very embarrassed that he didn't get it right. I'm like, man, to be standing beside Neil deGrasse Tyson and to have gotten Gonzo right and to watch him guess Snuffleupagus. And Ken Jennings cracked me up. Ken Jennings said, that'd be one big crate there, Neil. That'd be a pretty big crate. It didn't matter. Anyway, it's the one time that I could have done it. I could have impressed the world with my knowledge of the Muppets on national television. Nobody here's impressed, and I don't really care. It's one of the subjects that I would consider myself an authority. Now, could you ask a Muppet question that would stump me? Of course you could. But if you're going up against anybody in this room or out and you need somebody to help you out with a category on the Muppets, I would say, I'm probably going to be able to help you. Not on every question. I don't know that I'm an authority on the Muppets. I certainly have never operated an actual Muppet. I've never been on the Muppet Show. I've never been on, in one of the Muppet movies. I didn't write any of the scripts, but I know a lot about it. Just like the girl that says, I know a lot about Hamilton. If the author is sitting there, you're going to defer to Miranda and not the girl, regardless of what age she is. And the same thing with the Muppets. There's several Muppeteers that if they're still alive, it's like they're the ones that are going to know. But I thought, man, this is such a great way to illustrate what it means when Jesus says, you've heard it said, but I say to you. So here's the thing. Here's the whole reason I went into that last week and do this week. He says in one of these antitheses, we already talked about some other subjects. Remember we talked about murder? We talked about that way back several weeks ago. We talked about murder, and then we just now got into, we've only covered really one of them. We're still working our way through some of these. He says, you've heard it said that you shall not commit adultery. Again, quoting from the Ten Commandments. Adultery, sleeping with somebody that you are not married to, whether you're married or not. Jesus says, but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. See, here's the thing. All of these antitheses, he talks about murder, he talks about adultery, he's going to talk about divorce, he's going to talk about taking oaths, he's going to talk about revenge. Every single one of these have one thing in common. You say, what do they all have in common? What they have in common is they say to another person, I can dispose of you when I no longer need you. Obviously, murder being the utmost example of that. It's saying, I don't value you, you're not needed, and I'm going to put you aside. Jesus says the whole point of the Sermon on the Mount is to say, I want to show you how to treat other people. And so he begins, remember our analogy about stepping into the magic kingdom? Not just stepping into the entrance to the kingdom, but going all the way into and experiencing all of it. He says, you've heard it said not to commit adultery, not to murder somebody. I'm telling you, even in your heart, when you have hatred in your heart to somebody, you're igniting a spark that's going to lead to you saying to somebody, having the kind of heart. You're going to have the kind of heart that says to somebody else, I don't need you, I'm better off without you. He says it happens with murder, it happens with adultery, it happens with divorce, it happens with revenge. Now you say, well, I'm a 10th grader, or fill in your grade. You're like, these things don't apply to me yet, so why do I need to talk about these things? There's not a person in the room that has not been affected by all of these in some way. And there's not a person in the room that is not already working on their heart to become the kind of person. Here's my concern about this generation. And it's not because of something that you're doing. I'm not about to shake a finger at you, so don't hear that. Here's where my heart breaks. Most of you are getting your information about how to treat the opposite sex. You're getting that information from sources that have no right to be the authority, because they didn't write the rules. They didn't think up the idea. They didn't make up the idea. Sexuality is God's idea. It wasn't Satan's idea. It's not the world's idea. It's not Playboy's idea. It's not cable TV's idea. It's not pornography's idea. It's God's idea, and He's the authority. And so He says, when you're asked questions, now I'm not saying you're going to go on a trivia competition or a trivia team where, sex is going to be one of the categories, and you're like, okay, the next 10 questions. I'm not suggesting that's the case. I'm suggesting the stakes are even higher. I'm suggesting every day you are a part of a competition, in quotes, where sex is a topic, and you're going to be asked about it every single day. Whether you're in the 7th grade or 8th grade, certainly 12th grade or college, or anybody else in the room or anybody else listening, even 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade. The average exposure to pornography in today's world used to be about 8 or 9 years ago, it used to be 11 years old. Then they said it was 10 years old. Now most studies will say that the average first exposure to pornography is going to be between 7 and 8 years old. Why? Likely and easily because it's so accessible in our own pockets, on the laptop, right there in your own home. Now, I do want to be really careful, because when you speak to anybody and you talk about God's plan for our sexuality, there's somebody who says, okay, well, I've already transgressed, I've already messed up, and so just count me out. Put me in the list of failures. Put me in the list of people that have messed up. I didn't get it right. Jesus says, don't think about it that way. Or another group of people that says, put me in the list of people that says something happened to me or was done to me that I did not choose to happen to me, but it happened. And so put me in the list of somebody who's been violated, like I'm already broken. And Jesus says, that's not the way this works. Jesus says, I'm not giving you words, 107 verses, to make you feel bad. I'm showing you this is the kind of person who lives in my kingdom. This is what they'll look like. And he says, I want me to be the authority. Here's the problem. Many of you are getting your ideas about how to talk to girls or how to talk to guys. I could name the movies. I'm not going to show, movies that your parents would even allow you to see. Movies that aren't even, like, oh, I can't believe you watched that. Movies that are going to be on national television. 30-minute sitcoms that are going to appear on TV. Songs on your Spotify playlist that you'll listen to on the way home. Some that you should and some that you shouldn't. But you're getting your ideas of how do I react, how do I interact with a member of the opposite sex by watching what the world says, this is the playbook. This is how you do it. And I'm just telling you, they're not the authority. They didn't write it. And so don't get the rules from somebody or some website or some show or some song or some artist that's not the authority. And Jesus says, but I tell you, anybody who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery. Now you're like, okay, great, Jesus, just make me feel even more guilty. And if you walk away from the Sermon on the Mount with more guilt, then again, I think you are reading it incorrectly and hearing it incorrectly. Jesus goes on to say, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It's better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It's better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go to hell. Now, people read that and they go, that's a strange teaching. And like, you tell me we got to take the Bible literally. Jesus literally means everything that he says. Clearly here, Jesus is using hyperbolic language to stress how seriously he takes this. I don't know of many people that are going to argue that Jesus says that you need to actually do these things that he's saying here, but be careful that you say, oh, he's just speaking figuratively. He doesn't mean that. Be careful that you don't go all the way that way. What he says is you've got to take extreme measures. You've got to do whatever it takes. I'm going to come back to that quote in just a minute. I shared that quote with you before Christmas, but it's worth seeing again. I can name for you some times where some people have taken extreme measures. Years ago, I had a friend who said, I need you to get in your car. I need you to come to my house. This is 15 years ago, a student in our ministry that virtually, I don't think anybody in the room would know. I want you to come to my house, and I want you to come to our cable box, and I want you to change the code because I know the code that my parents have set on there. They don't know that I know the code, and I've set it there. I want you to come and I want you to change it so that I don't know what it is. So we walked into their house, we logged in, and we went in and we set this code, we reset it, and the person said, because I have proven that I have no control and I need to take some extreme measures. I had a girl on a trip, this is here at Boulevard, years ago, maybe almost 15, 18 years ago on a trip. She walked in, she had a CD. It was a CD she had burned. I mean, that just sounds hilarious, and I'm using an old example of somebody burning a CD, and that's ancient language. But she had a CD that she had burned of songs that she had downloaded, and she had this CD, and she said, every song on here is a song about, about guys and girls, and she said, and I can realize that it's reprogramming my brain, and she said, I don't want it, and I just want to break it in front of somebody so somebody can see it. I still have on my bulletin board in my office a small portion of that CD where she cracked it into 4 places and threw it away. You're like, she could have just gone back to the computer and burned it. I'm like, fine, of course you could have. But she said, I want to get rid of this. I've deleted the songs and I've got this CD, but I can't have this CD. I've been with friends that have said, I want you to take this bag of magazines and I want to throw them into a dumpster and I want to set them on fire and I want to do it with somebody to hold me accountable. I want to do that. I've been with people who have said, I want you to go and I want you to sit down and I want you to tell my parents, I want to walk them through how to look at the history on my computer because I need to know that somebody just may be kind of following along in my tracks and I want to get my computer out of my bedroom. Extreme measures that people take to say, I want to start submitting to the authority on how to think about guys and girls and not what the world is telling me. So Jesus says, I want you to come to me as the authority. I'm the one that knows how this works. And I'm the one that can tell you how this operates. Jesus says, you've heard it said, but I say to you. I'm actually going to, I'm going to come back to this another day because I want to move on to something else. It's really important that we get to some other pieces tonight, and I'll come back to that so somebody can remind me. He says, if your right eye causes you to stumble, this word, this is the Greek word. It's the Greek word scandalizo. You can see our word. We have a word that comes from this. What word comes from it? Yeah, the word scandal. The word scandalizo basically means to put a trap in somebody's path, or to put a stumbling block in the path of somebody else as they're running a race, to put something that will cause them to trip or fall. Scandalizo, to cause someone to stumble. That word scandal is because somebody has stumbled in some way. And so that's just a quick word lesson on where that word comes from. From Psalms. I love this passage from Psalms. You can write this down in your notes. You can make a note of it. Psalm 119. In verse 16, how can a young person stay on the path of purity? By living according to your word. Oh, let me back up. Sorry. I want to make sure you see that. How can a young person stay on the path of purity? By living according to your word. I will seek you with all my heart. Do not let me stray from your commands. I've hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. You can read the rest of that, but the number of time in Psalm 119, I believe in Psalm 119, if you read that long psalm, with only 3 exceptions, it's the longest psalm in the Bible, that within every 2 lines, with 3 exceptions, every 2 lines, you're going to see the word commands, words, laws, or decrees. Somebody can test me in that. But I believe, depending on your translation, that long, mighty long psalm, every 2 lines, you're going to see words, decrees, commands, some version of that, precepts. Because I put the 52 picture. That's why we're doing that. We're trying to give you a way to hide God's word in your heart because He's the authority on all of these things. I want to move quickly. Some of these ideas we may come back to, but in 5, 6, 7, the reason I have it upside down is because these teachings will turn things upside down. In 5, 6, 7, we are reminded to not use other people as though they are only there for our pleasure. Whether it's murder or revenge or adultery, or divorce, Jesus says, I'm telling you, other people are made in the image of God. They are not disposable. They're not expendable. You don't just get rid of somebody because you don't like them. And again, whether it's in any of those categories, Jesus says, I want to show you how to live out the 2 greatest commands. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Let me show you how to love other people. And He says, in those antitheses, I want to show you how to love other people. I want to continue moving on as we go through 5, 6, 7. I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time, but and we'll come back to this. But again, I want to make the larger point. Jesus says it's been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce, but I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality makes her the victim of adultery, and anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Again, it has been said. And so Jesus is telling them, but I tell you. In 5, 6, 7, we are reminded that we need to be faithful. Again, He's making a bigger point. He's not just talking about murder over here and divorce over here and adultery over here and revenge over here. He says, let's put them all together. He says, I'm telling you that other people are not just there for your pleasure. Other people are made in the image of God, and you need to value the image of God that is made in another person. Again, you've heard it said that it was said to the people long ago, don't break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you've made. But I tell you, don't swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by the earth, for it is His footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it's the city of the great King. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. All you need to simply say is yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. We're not going to have time to get into this all this week. We'll talk about it more next week. But in 5, 6, 7, Jesus is telling us that this word oath is the Greek word horkos, which sounds and gets its origin from this word orkos, which means a fence or a gate. And Jesus says we don't get to just compartmentalize and fence areas of our life where we say, I'm serious about truth over here and I'm not so serious over here. I want to illustrate one principle really quickly, and then there's about 4 things that I wanted to get to tonight we're just not going to get to, but I need a volunteer that doesn't mind coming up here and standing up here for just a second, help me out with something. I need somebody to stand up. Beckham, is that right? I can't see you. Okay, come on up. I can barely see because of the lights. Beckham, come right up here for a second. And I just want you to stand right there for just a second. If I had to close tonight and try to find a landing place, it's always a challenge because I've got a certain number of slides. We know we're never going to get all the way through those. But what is Jesus really getting at with the Sermon on the Mount? Okay, just come stand right there. Jesus says, I want to tell you, I'm going to pick back up on this next week, but because of the room tonight, I don't want you to leave without getting at least this truth. Because you're like, wait, I would like to have heard more about oaths. I would like to have heard more about divorce. I would like to have heard more about what he says about adultery. And I'm glad to have conversations with you, but we're trying to get through these chapters, and Jesus is making a bigger point. He says all these 10 commandments are talking about things that are external actions like murder and adultery, divorce. He says you need to know that all of those things start because you started changing the way you thought about people in here. Let me illustrate this since it's just about time to go. Okay, stand right there. Okay, all right, here we go. Just stand right there. Now, why did that happen?
Because you wanted it to?
No, well, yes, but why did it happen?
Because you shook the cup.
Okay. So your answer is not exactly valid because I just did the same thing that I did there, right? Right? So let's revise your answer. Why did it happen?
Because there was water in the cup.
Okay, very good. Now, yes, I shook the cup. I shook the cup both times. The distinguishing factor, thank you for not punching me. I saw that you had a sweatshirt on. I thought your parents are going to get mad at me. It happened because there was water in the cup to begin with, right? Not just because I shook the cup. I shook this cup too. Shaking the cup isn't the distinguishing factor. It's what's inside the cup that matters. Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount, and if you hear nothing else, at least hear this. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says, it is inevitable that you're going to leave True North tonight and you're going to experience a storm in your life. You're going to have a storm, Beckham. Here's the difference. The difference is what is inside of you, because when you are shaken, what is inside of you is inevitably going to show itself on the outside. Everybody in here, did everybody catch that? What is inside of you is inevitably going to come out when you are shaken. Some people are shaken and it doesn't make a mess because they said, I'm going to try to model myself by what Jesus says, this is how you operate. Is that going to keep a person from being shaken because you live by the principles in 5, 6, 7? No, he doesn't say that. In fact, he says the opposite. He says, in this world, you will have trouble. He says that in John 16. You will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. You need to make a note of this. It was once told to me, you can learn everything you can about a person by what makes them mad, glad, and sad. You can learn almost everything you know about a person by what makes them mad, glad, and sad. And then this idea that when Beckham is shaken, it doesn't matter what I see on the outside. What is inside of Beckham's heart, when he is shaken by life, that's what's going to come out, inevitably. And Jesus is saying in the Sermon on the Mount, this thing, when you murder somebody, it's not because you did an actual external act of murdering them. It's because inside of your heart, you valued people in a way that said, I don't care about people. So if you're gossiping about people, if you are sharing crude sexual jokes to other people, if you're expressing racist thoughts to other people, if you're expressing derogatory comments to other people because of what they look or because of who they are, Jesus says those are things that are inside of a person that when eventually you crack, those things are going to come on the outside, and that's when we see the things like murder and adultery and divorce. It's because somewhere early on, you put the seed of some of these things the way you saw other people, and you said other people aren't that important really. And some of you know what that feels like in the 7th grade to be treated like that. Some of you know what it's like in the 9th grade or the 12th grade. And some of us know as parents or grandparents what that feels like. And Jesus says, whatever is inside of you is going to come out of you when you are shaken. See, it wasn't because I shook the cup. Now, you were right. Your answer wasn't wrong. But it's because of what was in the cup is what happened to you. Now, it's water. Water's harmless. It's going to dry. And by the time he leaves, well, when he walks outside, it'll freeze his shirt solid. But other than that, when Beckham is standing here, that didn't cause him a lot of harm. Hopefully he's not mad at me. Hopefully he's going to be like, well, I would not have liked for that to happen, but okay. But it's so much worse, guys, when it's not water in a cup, but when it's something in your heart that spills out because you get shaken. And Jesus says, that's what I want to try to turn upside down. So we're going to look more at that next week. And I just want to continue to point you to the authority on all of these things. Let me say a prayer for you and I'll let you go. God, I thank you for tonight. I thank you for your word. I thank you for the Sermon on the Mount for 5, 6, and 7. I thank you for these students, many of whom seem really eager to absorb what it is you're trying to tell them about who they are. God, I'm excited about where we're going to get to go next week and as we continue to unpack this. And God, for anybody in this room who feels guilt or shame or anger or fear because of something that they have done or something that has been done to them, God, I pray that the Sermon on the Mount, the teaching in these 107 verses, can begin to turn upside down those feelings of fear and make them feelings of courage. To take those feelings of guilt and to make them feel feelings of forgiveness. To take that shame and to turn it over and to have feelings of self-worth. Because God, none of us are immune to being shaken when we leave here. And so that's why for the few moments that we have every Wednesday at True North, we're trying to put things inside of these students that when they are shaken, that's what's going to come out of them. Or as we say, we lay these things on their surface of their heart so that when their heart is shaken and broken, that these things will fall in. And if that's happened in any way tonight, may you and you alone receive all the glory. It's through Jesus we pray, and we all say together, amen. God bless you guys. Thanks for being a good sport.